The Foreign Minister of India hits at Canada over the killing of a Khalistani activist, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was also a wanted terrorist in India. The details with Jayne Codnita.
We must never again allow an injustice like vaccine apartheid to recur. Climate action, too, cannot continue to witness an evasion of historical responsibilities. The power of markets should not be utilized to steer food and energy from the needy to the wealthy. Nor must we countenance that political convenience determines responses to terrorism, extremism, and violence. Similarly, respect for territorial integrity and non-interference in internal affairs cannot be exercises in cherry-picking.
This is what Indian External Affairs Minister FM Jaishankar said during his speech at the UN General Assembly. Jaishankar also pointed out the issue of organized crime in Canada during his speech at the Council of Foreign Relations on Tuesday. Jaishankar said Canada's organized crime has been on the rise over the years, particularly linked to secessionist forces, extremism, and violence. He also expressed his concerns over the Canadian government's apparent willingness to tolerate such activities for political reasons. India has been criticizing the Canadian government for its approach towards pro-Khalistan elements and letting anti-India activities on Canadian soil persist as an act of freedom of expression. To recall, last week, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said his government was actively pursuing credible allegations linking Indian government agents to Nijjar's death and urged New Delhi to cooperate with Ottawa.
Today I'm rising to inform the House of an extremely serious matter. I just informed the leaders of the opposition directly, but I want now to speak with all Canadians. Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Canada is a rule of law country. The protection of our citizens and defense of our sovereignty are fundamental. Our top priorities have therefore been, one, that our law enforcement and security agencies ensure the continued safety of all Canadians, and two, that all steps be taken to hold perpetrators of this murder to account. Canada has declared its deep concerns to the top intelligence and security officials of the Indian government. Last week at the G20, I brought them personally and directly to Prime Minister Modi in no uncertain terms. Any involvement of a foreign government in the killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil is an unacceptable violation of our sovereignty.
India rejected the accusations.
We have informed the Canadian government that there should be parity in strength and rank equivalence in our diplomatic presence, in mutual diplomatic presence. Their numbers here are very much higher than ours in Canada. The details of this are being worked out, but I assume there will be a reduction from the Canadian side. Words used by Canadian Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, and then the US Ambassador, right? Yes, I do think there is a degree of prejudice here, They have made the allegations, they have taken action on them. To us, it seems or it appears that these allegations by the Government of Canada are primarily politically driven. Let me clarify, no specific information has been shared by Canada on this case, either then or before or after. We have, as we have said, or I think we've been made very clear, we are willing to look at any specific information. We have conveyed this to the Canadian side, made it clear to them that we are willing to look at any specific information that is provided to us. But so far, we have not received any such specific information. There was a indirect question on that. Let me also point out that from our side, very specific evidence about criminal activities by individuals based on Canadian soil has been shared with the Canadian authorities on a regular basis, but not been acted upon.
This resulted in Canada and India expelling each other's diplomats, massive protests of Canadian Sikhs over the killing of Nijjar, and India suspending visas for Canadians. The diplomatic spat between India and Canada worsened following reports that one of the members of the Five Eyes shared intelligence inputs with Canada over the alleged role of Indian government agents in the killing of Nijjar. The Five Eyes is an intelligence alliance comprising of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States. And during an event on Tuesday, when asked about the involvement of the Five Eyes, Jaishankar said,
I'm not part of the Five Eyes. I'm certainly not part of the FBI. So I think you're asking the wrong person.
Jaishankar further said that India is open to looking at the proof that Canada has against them. The Canadian government has yet to provide any proof so far. According to the spokesperson of India's Foreign Ministry, Arindam Bagchi, New Delhi has already conveyed its willingness to look at specific information provided to them. Reporting, this has been Jayne Codnita, FM News.